Welcome back to Coffee Talk. Grab your coffee.
Yes.
Join us for our talk today. We're Keith and Terri. We talk all things retirement. We talk aging. We talk a lot of stuff. Today we're going to talk about 7 body parts that you should not ignore as you age. And this is taken from an article that we read in
Yes.
AARP.
Very interesting. So the first thing that I think we should talk about is one of the most important things, our eyes.
As we age, even if you have perfect vision, there's things that come up with our eyesight as we age. There's glaucoma, there's diabetes related eye diseases, macular degeneration. There's all these things that even though maybe you have perfect eyesight, they can happen to our eyes as we age. And cataracts is a big one because that's like a film that comes over your eye, and you have to have it surgically removed so that you can see. Otherwise, everything's all blurry. I have cataracts that are starting to form, and she's keeping an eye on them. And that is probably why I don't like to drive at night, because at night, I don't know if I'm on the road or not. And so I don't think you want me on the road.
You don't want her driving at night, trust me.
Because I just don't see well. So it's so important. Like I said, I've had terrible eyes my whole life. I've either wear glasses or contacts. And so I have been regular to the eye doctor because I can't see. But Keith has had great eyes.
Woo-hoo.
But even if you have great eyesight, it's really important that you not neglect your eye exams as you age. Another thing that we need to keep an eye on as we age is our teeth and our gums. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want no false teeth. I want to keep my teeth till I die. My grandfather was 98. He was actually, 98, I think, when he died. And he had all his own teeth. He never went to the dentist, but don't be like him.
No.
Anyway, you want to keep track of that because, I mean, it's a proven fact that if you have a lot of gingivitis and gum disease, it can cause heart issues because bacteria and stuff get in your gums and then go in your bloodstream, and it can affect your heart. So it's very important that as you age, you get those regular dental checkups. I know my mother just turned 90, and just recently she was eating something, and it was something pretty soft, and her tooth just fell off. It just crumbled. So our teeth aren't as strong as they were once we age. So that's just something that we need to make sure that we're aware of and have good dental hygiene and checkups.
Then another body part we should kind of really take care of is our feet.
Especially if you have diabetes, because that can affect your circulation. And as we age, we don't have as good a circulation as we did when we were younger. Now, a lot of times when I sit too long or I stand too long, my feet and my legs swell. And the doctor has said it's because your veins down there have to squeeze to push the blood back up to your heart. Well, as you age, those veins don't squeeze back up as good as they did. So it does affect your feet. And we certainly don't want to get to the place in life where our feet lose circulation and we end up having to get an amputation or something. So it's really important. And like I said, especially if you're diabetic, to get those feet checked and looked at. And you can do this at your regular wellness appointment. But, as we take care of our own health, if we see changes in our feet, I know I have got bunions, and one on my left foot is worse than my right. My left one's beginning to be problematic. When I wear shoes, I end up getting a hole in my shoe where that bunion is, just because it's that bony part that's sticking out. And so I'm going to go see a foot doctor about that. But I've heard horror stories about surgery.
She's been saying that now like 2 or 3 years.
Oh.
So I think it's the fear of what they're going to say and maybe have surgery or something like that. So it's like eventually I think she'll get it taken care of.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, at times it's painful, but I've been watching it.
Yeah.
And so it is something that I'm going to have to check into. Another body part we need to look out for as we age is our hips and our knees.
Oh, yeah.
And I never had trouble with my knees ever until just like 2 years ago. And then my knees, it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on with my knees?
Yep.
So the last thing that I want to do in my retirement years is have a knee replacement or a hip replacement. So we need to learn to take good care of our hips and our knees. And that means not walking on concrete too much, because that's terrible for your hips and knees. And I know a lot of people who are big runners, and they run miles and marathons. And I'm thinking they're going to regret that when they get in their 60s, because it's terrible on your hips and your knees. And yes, running is good for you, but it depends on the surface you're running on. If it's constantly hard surfaces where there's pounding and pounding, sometimes it does more harm than good. So we just need to be aware of that.
I know I had to have knee surgery about 35 years ago. I was big into athletics. I played every sport possible in high school and college. And then I remember just at a pickup basketball game down in the gym, went up for a rebound, and man, I had pain go through my knee, excruciating, and went to the doctor and said, oh yeah, you got some torn cartilage. And he said, you're gonna have to be careful. And oh, by the way, your kneecap is already getting arthritis in there. So I'm really careful now, try not to be on concrete too much. Don't do a lot of running anymore. Just trying to take care of my knees.
And we have to be really careful when we're out and about, even standing too much on hard surfaces. We really feel it the next day.
Oh,
and so we have to be really careful with that. And so that is something to think about as you age, because I don't want to go through that. I don't want to have a knee or hip replacement. Now, there's sometimes that's your only alternative, but we need to take care of those hips and knees.
Yeah, do your best to avoid, knee problems.
Another body part we need to keep an eye on as we age is our ears. 75% of people age 75 or over have some type of hearing loss. So we really need to keep an eye on that, because, and this is a recent study that I heard about, and that is hearing loss is a big factor in onset dementia. Like if you can't hear what's going on around you, it kind of makes you feel isolated in a bubble kind of thing, and it can bring on dementia. So it's important that we keep our hearing, if at all possible. I know Keith had trouble here recently hearing, and ended up going to the ear doctor, and it was just wax in his ear. They cleaned it out, boom, miracle. He can hear again. So it could be something as simple as there's wax in there that's blocking your eardrum and you can't hear.
Yeah, I was so worried that, go in, they say, well, you get something's wrong. We have to have ear surgery and, have to have hearing aids and something like that. But so I was really relieved when he was doing the cleaning. All of a sudden, just like I could hear cars outside again. And then we got back in the car, turned the car on. I could hear the dingy lights going on in the car when I turned it on, and everything. It was like, wow, I've been missing all this if I just would have got my ears cleaned.
Yeah. So, but you don't know until you go get checked out. Yeah. So something to keep in mind. We don't want to miss out on life and miss out on hearing all the things around us. So it's a good reason to get your hearing and your ears checked. And the last thing we need to take care of as we age is our core. You need good core muscles to be able to sit, to stand. And it's happened to me, guys. I get on the floor and it's like, okay, how am I going to get back up? And the grandkids, they get down there, come on, Grammy, let's get back up and down and up and down. It's like, I can't do that anymore.
You have to hold on to a chair or something to kind of pull yourself up and then take 2 or 3 steps, kind of stumbling to get up.
It's something you don't think about.
No.
It takes core muscles to be able to sit, to stand, to lie down, to get back up. You need those core muscles strong. And so when Keith and I walk, that's our daily exercise activity.
Yep.
And that helps your core stay strong. And if you're not able to get up and down by yourself, I mean, that takes a mental toll.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want somebody to always have to be, here, let me help you up, and stuff like that. So aging stinks. Let me tell you. Because aging affects every single part of your body.
Yeah.
And even though mentally we feel like we're not aging, our body tells us a different story. We look in the mirror and we think, oh my word, who is that?
Yep.
How'd you get all those wrinkles on your face?
All that gray hair. Your mind will lie to you.
That is true. That is true. You'll think you look better than you do.
Yep.
So it's really important, guys, that as we age and
everybody ages.
Yes. So let's pay attention to these body parts, and let's keep ourselves as healthy as we can for as long as we can, because that's going to make your retirement even better when you are able to enjoy it and to be active and do the things that you want to do. So we appreciate you joining us today for our coffee talk. If you have a subject that you would like for us to talk about, let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time on Retired and Loving It. If you would like to see more of our videos, click the video that just popped up on your screen